What is Black history? It is the dirt road our forefathers trod, memories of their lives branded in our hearts. It is a word, a place, a state of mind. Black history is a peek into our ancestors' time. It is a piece of fabric our grandmothers wore, an old rope that our grandfathers lived to deplore. It is a slave ship and middle passage overseas. Black history is cotton fields and tobacco leaves. It is a plantation overseer and backdoor crumbs, a weeping and wailing, a beating of drums. It is a troubling truth and unapologetic past. Black history is an entire race struggling to last. It is a Mississippi burning in a Tennessee town, an evil that lingered to bring Black people down. It is a book or movie of strength, courage, and will. Black history is the fate of young Emmett Till. It is Little Ruby Bridges, the exquisite Ruby Dee, Carter G. Woodson, and Coretta Scott King. A Mahalia Jackson song, a Michael Jackson routine. Black history is the phrase, let freedom ring. It is Cheney University, the Tuskegee Airmen, the NAACP, the Black Holocaust Museum. It is Navy Master Diver named Carl Brashear. Black history is our legacy of triumph without fear. It is General Colin Powell, a vaudeville drama, Zora Neale Hurston and President Barack Obama. It is every single experience of our history. Black history is the story of you and me. Greetings, Pastor Bruce Johnson and Ramp Church, Charlottesville. I am Latorial Faison. Black History Month is a time of reflection for us all. African Americans have a storied history and a long legacy of achievement, triumph, and contribution in America. Here's to strong leaders, strong followers, strong African American men, women, and children. May we know them, may we be them, may we raise them. I leave you with a final poem entitled, The Sounds of Blackness. In my heart there lies no defeat, but in my bosom a triumphant and rhythmic beat. And while my spirit dances with gladness, I am quick to recall the sounds of blackness. I hear the moaning and the wailing of Native Africans held captive on ships sailing, as though it were my youth of yesterday, whispering truth to ears in dark dismay. That long persistent motherland call of anxious hope and justice for all, as though it beckoned from higher heights, I hear the songs of steal-away nights. That disdainful whip, the startling crack, the sound of 50 lashes to my brother man's back. We listened to hate's hypocrisy and religion. We prayed for deliverance complete with wisdom. I hear Harriet's footsteps and her hushing sacred sounds as she walked without fear in search of freedom's grounds. To lead as many captives safely to northern light, her savage spirit vowed to never give up the fight. The sighs of relief at a kingdom finally come, freedom at last for us, the worst of sins to some. But to the surprise and shock of a divided nation came the lyrics of a long overdue slave emancipation. The endless cheering, it must have been loud, while those who stood free made our ancestors proud. And the old Africans' dream really did come true, in a nation where their people were brought to be subdued. Dr. King shouted, free at last, and his dream of a promised land did come to pass. The sit-ins, the marches, the demands for equal rights were necessary for those freed in darkness and deprived of light. So in my daily living, I do not dare ignore the sounds, but am honored that my ancestors were strong and freedom bound. When fellow men can't remember the truth about this sadness, pause to share with them one of the many sounds of blackness.